Toxic masculinity, I'm sure, is a term we are all pretty familiar with. But something that I end up talking about is toxic femininity. Because in this age of postmodern feminism, the tables really have turned.
Mr. Depp, have you ever physically assaulted Miss Heard?
Never.
Have you ever sexually assaulted Miss Heard?
Never. Certainly not.
What have you lost as a result of Miss Heard making these allegations against you?
Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. I'm Ann Blackwood, your Silicon Valley sage sister, here to bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler. So, with all of this Johnny Depp trial going on, I wanted to talk about this because I had wanted to talk about this a couple years ago. And I don't even remember if I ended up talking about it in the Sanctuary of the Awakened, but I felt like it was appropriate to talk about it now, so here we are. I, personally, have had a friend that quite openly started accusing her husband of rape because she was openly having a relationship with somebody else in front of everybody, including her husband. I've had a best friend be accused by his girlfriend, who was very abusive, she was, of him abusing her, and then taking it back. And this is a story that not only I have, but know many other people who have stories like this. And if there's one thing I believe in, it's protecting all of our brothers and sisters. And so, as much as I believe that there are many reasons why we need to stand up for women in this day and age, there are also reasons why we need to stand up for men. And one of them is the toxic femininity that is so dangerous. And this trial is just one example. I want you to listen to this.
What have you lost as a result of Miss Heard making these allegations against you?
Nothing less than everything. Nothing less than everything. Because when the allegations were made, when the allegations were rapidly circling the globe, telling people that I was a drunken, cocaine-fueled menace who beat women suddenly in my 50s. It's over. You know, you're done. So, what did it do to me? What effect did it have on me? I'll put it to you this way. No matter the outcome of this trial, the second the allegations were made against me, the accusations, the second that more and more of these things, as I said, metastasized and turned into fodder for the media. Once that happens, or once that happened, I lost then. That is to say, I lost. Because that is not a thing that anyone is gonna just put on your back for a short period of time. I will live with that for the rest of my life because of the allegations and because it was such a high-profile case. So I lost then, no matter the outcome of this trial. I'll carry that for the rest of my days. And it never had to be that way. It never had to happen.
Now, this is my experience with several men that I know, where there has been a woman who, I'm not going to speak to Johnny Depp or Amber Heard, but I know from my own personal experience, I know men who had girlfriends who accused them of things that they were just absolutely not capable of. And it ruined their lives, or potentially could have ruined their lives. I have one friend who got very lucky that nobody was buying her story, so she changed it quickly. And that doesn't happen often. More often than not, everybody just jumps on the Me Too bandwagon. And I'm not saying that there aren't awful men out there who do awful things. But out of this spiritual, woke, virtue signal, false compassion that everyone has come to feel the need to adopt, we are no longer questioning reality. And not in a way of questioning what's real in a spiritual or philosophical way, but we are no longer questioning what we're hearing. We're just assuming that because someone says it, it's true, and moving on. And that is dangerous. That is very dangerous for many, many reasons. We always want to question everything. And that's not to say that people don't deserve compassion. That's not to say that until we know the facts, we shouldn't give people the benefit of the doubt. But there's a certain amount of questioning that, especially in cases like this, they deserve. And I don't think that anybody should be outrightly believed just because they have certain biological body parts, for instance. Because at this point, we live in a society where, I think it's an orange. If you give a monkey an orange, the rest of the monkeys will meme and want their orange too. Give a mouse a cookie. The term meme, for those of you who don't know, is a psychology term that means to mimic or to copy. And if there's one thing we know about ourselves, as well as our animal ancestors, it's that we will absolutely copy those we see getting the attention or the nourishment or whatever it might be that we want. We will imitate their behavior when we see that behavior rewarded. Maybe it was bananas, because they're monkeys. There were monkeys on a beach and they had fruit, and then other monkeys saw them peeling it. I forget what it was. I don't think it was bananas. I think it was something else. And so those monkeys learned, maybe, I don't know. There's a story we're taught in school, in psychology, when we're being taught about how we meme. And it's about monkeys on a beach doing something, and then all the other monkeys seeing them do it and then copying them. And it had something to do with food. And I think opening the food. Can't remember what it was now. My point being, we as human beings, we will mimic bad behavior if we see others doing it and getting rewarded for it. And we have to be aware that this is the case. And I know that I might have sounded harsh when I talked about the Me Too movement. There are many, many women out there who do deserve their justice for all of the awful things that have happened to them. But there are just as many women out there, and girls, who crave attention and will do just about anything to get it. And it's sad to see all of the many different ways, not just through crying rape, not just through crying abuse, but so many other ways that our sisters are harming themselves and harming others for attention these days. I've watched cutting, literally wrist cutting, become contagious in schools, where young girls would compete with each other by cutting themselves. Who could go to the hospital more? And so on and so forth. We are not a healthy society. And there are some major, major cries for help going on in the world that need to be addressed with compassion, but not with acceptance or tolerance. We all seem to have this idea, I don't know where it came from, but it's woke woo-woo garbage, that compassion and love means acceptance and tolerance. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for someone is not be accepting, not be tolerant. And sometimes those people aren't going to be ready for help. And sometimes we just have to face that and go on our way. I had to stop being friends with this woman who was my best friend at the time, because I could not bring myself to go along with her lies. Because I knew for certain, firsthand, that the night that she was trying to say she was raped, she wasn't. And it was very sad for me to watch her go from being honest about it being her husband's birthday and not wanting to have sex with him but feeling obligated to slowly but surely, and this was all while she was out in the open dating this other guy on the side, go from being honest about not wanting to have sex with her husband because it was his birthday, but she felt because it was his birthday, she was obligated to feeling guilty that she slept with him because she liked this other guy better, and feeling guilty that because she liked this other guy better, that she was leaving her husband, who she had just barely gotten married to, who I warned her about not getting married to. And so it went from honesty to dishonesty because of shame. And I wasn't going to play that game with her because I knew the truth, because she had told me the truth. The day it happened, the day after it happened, and then several days later, all of a sudden, she was changing her tune because she was getting more and more serious about this other guy. And so, admitting to herself that she slept with her husband was becoming harder and harder to do for all sorts of reasons. And that's fine. But accusing him of rape, that's not okay. That's irreversible damage done to somebody. Personally and socially. And these men don't deserve that. Because the men it happens to the most, as far as I can tell, are good men. Good men. That deserve better. And our women, our girls, they deserve better than to think that what's best for them is to lie and be malicious so that they can get attention. Thank you guys for joining me for another video. I want to give a shout out to the Law and Crime YouTube channel for providing the video that I used today of the trial. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the links in my description. That includes Patreon, where I have things like my Sanctuary of the Awakened VIP group sign up, as well as 3 other membership tiers. That includes journal exercises, guided meditations, my intuitive lifestyle course, other workshops and mini-series, and so much more, especially if you sign up for the Sanctuary of the Awakened group. If you'd like to work with me more than once a month through the Enlightening tier on Patreon, you also have my session packages that you can sign up for. That is a link in the description that has you signing up for a certain number of sessions, and then how often we work together, whether that's once a week, twice a week, every other week. That and what we work on is personalized to you. I also have my links to my dōTERRA Witches group, as well as dōTERRA, and so much more down there. So don't forget to check out the links in the description, because if you're enjoying my videos here, you will definitely enjoy the links in the description. And as always, may the energies you serve you well. And let's keep making our way through.